Now, past expiration shock jock Marilyn Manson, a guy who's so hard that he named his names after Marilyn Monroe, a bleach blonde, and a evil darkhead named Marilyn Manson, who ironically killed blonde women, and also killed men too. Kind of ironic. I thought that maybe he would release this album like maybe on the 31st so he can keep up with his whole creepy ass kind of whole stick throughout his life. You see, in the 90s, this guy was big. He had this album named Antichrist Superstar, and now that I think of it, it's going to be the 21st anniversary like yesterday. But yes, he had this album called The Antichrist Superstar, which blew up because back then in the 90s, it was kind of more of a conservative, some of the more conservative years, and republicanism still reigned, and conservatism and Christianity and stuff like that. And he was a troll before trolling was really big, pre-internet era. They said that he actually like maybe caused the Columbine shootings, all kinds of shit. I mean, of course, profanity label album by artists such as but yeah, but now since we can readily available get anything we want, and that open sexuality and Satanism is overused time and time afterwards, to the most extreme, and everybody is accused of worshiping the devil now. Now, kind of to me, he's kind of an out of date shock jock to me personally. Like, the guy's time has passed. And listening to this album, I went into this album with an open mind, asking, gosh, maybe he has some new tricks to talk about. I hear the Amazing Atheist was all shitting on him, and he even had my birthday year, 1996, as a song. So hey, he must not have been all that bad. Now, I'm listening to this album. And the first track, Revelations 12, which I really want to look up what that a reference to when it comes to Revelation. And then I hear this. And I was like this.
This is a message to everyone making a film, everyone involved in the entertainment industry. Stop using this fucking violin. It's this stock
Now,
sound effect, and I hear it in everything. Everything. It's in Game of Thrones. Be realistic. Why not just sleep?
now my sentiment was exact. It's not really like a violin. I think he's not using in the back, but that's like the most cliched, creepy sound that you could use as a artist these days. Like, creep me out with your lyrics, not your like beat selection and stuff like that, especially when you're going to fail. Now, I'm not saying he used a violin, but that sounds like a cliche sound to me. All right. So every time somebody does like a little countdown in their songs, it kind of reminds me of a bootleg Chuck D. And that's kind of like the problem I have with this album is it's supposed to be deep and it's supposed to be deep in philosophy and all this stuff, but no, it's not. It's basically a sort of like party music for atheists and rejects. So they can point to you and say, hey, this is our music and it's so deep, man. It's so thrilling. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, most of the lyrics is repetitive. Like people hate young little Pump for being repetitive as hell, but nobody calls this guy out for his very repetitive lyric structure and idea. And of course, you take a song like Satan or Satan, which I guess is a reference to him having like 10 songs and Kill for Me. And of course, just like Little Pump, the title track, he says it over and over again. You say God and I say Satan. Like, okay, he's beating a dead horse. We know you're satanic and all this stuff. And the one thing I like about that he brung to like a new concept is the idea of heaven upside down, which would be hell if it was heaven upside down. That was pretty cool. But other than that, his little gimmick about, hey, I'm so notorious, I'm worshiping Satan, but not really Satan. I don't believe in God, so why would I believe in Satan? Whatever. I mean, it kind of gets tiring with me. And could somebody please tell me what tattooed in reverse have to do with being a rebel? Like, is it so the only way you can see or read your tattoo is in a mirror? Or is it that you want to be like upside down so you can read your tattoo? I do not get the whole reference. Now, of course, we have two tracks that are named after God, which is Saturnarius and Jesus Christus. Now, on Saturnarius, he talks about how he was invited to eat the young, which, no shock here since we know where you fucking live. And also, Kill for Me talks about death. But could somebody please explain me what smile like a rifle is? That's a very strange type of wording. How does a rifle smile? Kind of stupid. The lyrics on this whole album seems very stupid to me and have no deeper meaning other than gibberish. I'm sorry. Now, Jesus Crisis is a song that I really like. He has a reference that he makes songs to fight in the fuck to. And of course, of course, the lyrics are simple on here and kind of dumbed down, but I really like them. He doesn't try this whole pseudo spiritual bullshit where his lyrics don't make sense, which of course his fans might say they're open to interpretation. I don't really give a fuck. They're open to my interpretation, and they're horrible, by the way. You remember that whole thing I said about tattooed in reverse? Well, here's something interesting. Now that I think of it, he does talk about upside down and blood honey. So maybe I was right. Maybe he's upside down, and that's why he have to get a tattoo in reverse so you can actually read his tattoo. Anywho, this is a pretty good song. Blood honey. That seems to be a reference to like I don't know what the hell it's a reference to. Is it a reference to milk and honey? I don't fucking know. I'm literally just baffled at this point. And nobody's a rock genius seem to know what the hell he's talking about. This is supposed to be a popular person, yet most of his lyrics are not being delved in or even shown to have deeper meaning at all. In Heaven Upside Down, it's harder to realize what a ghost or explains less what is a ghost than paranormal activity. I mean, the lyrics, like in the interlude with the by the female vocalist who I don't know of, she's pretty alright. I mean, hey, oh, so, hey, let's see who she is. All right, she only has one feature on his album, but still, what a hell of a feature. Nice. I kind of don't really I'm not really cool with this one. I feel it should have explained what Heaven Upside Down is more in detail and actually give us a full exposition of what he realized this instead of leaving it open end. And the last track, which is Romance, kind of reminds me of Queens of the Stone Age a little bit. You know, it's one of my favorite tracks on here. But other than that, I mean, this album, it was kind of a disappointer for me. I don't really like it that much. It seems like party music for non-believers, and nothing's wrong with that. It's just that it doesn't explain, it goes into detail of religion, but it doesn't explain why it is against or for religion at all. It's kind of dull and boring to me. It's repetitive, and people who dislike Lil Pump for being repetitive but like this shit really must ask themselves, are they really paying attention to lyrics? It's mostly nonsensical at best, and I kind of doesn't like it. So I'm going to give it a 6 because most of the instrumentals are banging and nice. Not really my thing. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I personally am out. And if y'all could explain in the comment section some of these lyrics, maybe I'll get it and maybe I'll like the album more. But until then, I kind of dislike the album, really don't like it that much. I mean, hey, maybe if I give it a few more listens.